My apologies. This is Darren Marchant with American Nomad News, and this is a refilmed segment on vines, file management on a cell phone, trying to produce a YouTube channel with really complex subjects, and I'm living outside homeless. Please like, share, subscribe. Really would like to see some comments. Click the bell icon, give me some love, and if you see me on the off-ramp, please read my sign. This is the only, this flying the sign out on the interstate's the only way I eat. So that, and occasionally the food bank. But we're going to talk about astroponics and how to grow vining plants in microgravity environment. And the context here is and I just blanked out, aldrin cycler. And I talk about aldrin cyclers in another video. Please go look at my collection. Now, vines are interesting because they explore, they spread out. And they do need a root base, so making a quilted mat of composted material using burlap as the cloth sounds to me like a good medium to use. And we talk about in the other segments how to circulate the moisture and water. It's essentially an aeroponic system, and so use fans and you spray water into the environment and pull the water out of the environment using centrifugal extractors and pump that through your fish tanks, which would be in centrifugal areas, and then you can pump that water back out of the centrifugal areas and into the sprayers, which make that nutrient cycle happen. Now, growing vines are cool. They'll spread out and follow the general structure of the space station, and they'll look for places to root. So one of the things that you can do is wrap the struts or place burlap bags of compost in these different spots, maybe next to a sprayer or something, so they stay wet. And then the vines will find that spot and root and grow more vines. So you can kind of have some fun with that. It's important to remember that certain vines, like grapevines, the trunks can get pretty thick and woody. And so you want to be careful about where you allow them to grow and make that work for you. And they can grow on other plants like corn as well. So you may have some fun growing corn in microgravity with grapevines and squash and those kinds of things. In another segment, we're going to talk about some other stuff relating to the general structure of the environment. But in this case, I want to look at how the person working the garden is going to be floating in microgravity, but they're not going to be living in microgravity. They can live in a centrifugal section which rotates within the body of the larger structure. So you can go back to your apartment, take a shower, change your clothes, put the clothes in the washing machine, and the washing machine water goes through a certain set of plants and probably an enclosed area, and that cleans the water, and then it can be run through the whole cycle of the rest of the farm. Keep in mind that the general idea of the space station is that it's a large, tessellated, scalable structure. And it's in equilateral pyramidal shapes of scaffolding. Each strut is identical in length and construction, and it can contract and can expand a little bit, but it generally is like a shock absorber. It stays in one size unless force is put upon it. And this allows the station to absorb a lot of shock and vibration and handle a lot of shifting stresses very easily without damage or wear and tear. And they're modular, so with lots of these tessellations, you can go through, and if there's damage or if you need to make room to put some bigger equipment, you can take some of the struts out, reinforce an area, and have a void inside where you put a big centrifuge like an apartment or something like that. Now, growing vines gives us products, but it also gives us vegetative waste. So one of the things that we have to consider is, how do we move material around? Vacuum tubes like 8, 10, or 12-inch Schedule 40 PVC would be more than sufficient, and a vacuum system can be run with pipes that can be taken apart, just like vacuum cleaner pipes, and then pressure washed, cleaned on the inside, and then put back. So they can be used for harvest functions, or they can be used for compost collection. So let's say that you're at a station, an equilateral pyramidal shape, and you've got a bunch of vines, and you're cleaning out the dead vines to make room for more growth. You can crunch these up with a chipper shredder and send them into a 10-inch vacuum line with a strong vacuum differential, and that'll suck that stuff over to where it can be handled as compost, maybe into the chicken coop. We'll describe the chicken coop later. I like that section. But if you're harvesting the grapes, you don't want to bounce those around too much, so you can have a pipe that is a lower speed of airflow, and so you drop the grapes into the pipe entrance, and they'll very gently tumble down into wherever you need them to go, which might be a centrifugal area with a small water bath. They fall into the water bath and rinse, and then they get handled just like you would on a terrestrial farm produce processing facility. You could even use the exact same equipment in some of these situations. Grapes are really nice. There's other vining products that we may use. Like I said, to pre-compost, they could go to a chicken coop. Go look at the chicken coop video. Sorry, this is kind of an awkward video because I was on a roll before and I messed up. I deleted a bunch of videos, and this is one of the ones that I have to fill in, which is growing vines in microgravity. And the other ones are 15 minutes because I was on a roll and I really had it going. Apologize for that. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, click the bell icon. Thank you.